My talk for this afternoon is entitled The Freelancer's Journey to Becoming an Entrepreneur. So, my goal for this afternoon is just to tell you my story. Alright, so how exactly I was able to parang journey from becoming an entrepreneur, a freelancer into becoming an entrepreneur. So what exactly did I do, and probably some tips that I can share with you. And at the same time, what are my plans, alright, in getting to that point. Kasi I must admit, wala pa ako doon sa ideal position na I can really call myself as that entrepreneur. Alright, so later, more about that. So, my journey. How exactly did I start? For everybody's information, I'm turning 40 next month. So I'm 39 right now. So, yes, I'm proud of my age. Okay. In terms of number of years in the industry, I've been building websites since year 2000. Alright. But before that, how exactly did I start doing web development? Some of you all may already know, I came from the seminary. Actually, I came from the monastery. I spent about 6 years inside the monastery. That was way back in the 90s. And after that, paglabas ko, alright, yung monastery ko yung kalbo, walang buhok, and we don't speak, we hardly eat meat, and we spend the whole day in silence, in prayer, and prayer. Okay? So, when I left the monastery, my work background at that time was into graphics. Why? Kasi I was assigned sa printing press ng monasteryo. So when I left, I was looking for a job that would allow me to use my skills in Photoshop. In Photoshop at that time, hindi ko na sasabihin anong version siya. Pero luma na siya. Okay. Nasubaybayan ko po ang versions ng Photoshop. Alright. So, I was able to luckily, I was in the right place at the right time, and I got this opportunity to work with one of the siguro pioneer in e-commerce in the Philippines. And I worked with them, just cleaning up, cropping images for 12 hours every day. All I did was crop images and scan. Wala pang digital at the time. Oh, okay. Ni-scan ko yung photos, crop ko siya into 3 different sizes. Wala pang special function doon na automatic na resize ang photos for e-commerce site. So, ganun ginagawa ko, day in, day out. And from there, I was able to learn how to develop websites. In fact, yung CEO namin, na nagbigay ng first freelance gig sa akin, sabi niya, Ben, why don't you learn how to develop websites? May project akong bibigay sa'yo. Hindi ko alam kung napakamot siya ng ulo, if it was the right decision for him. Kasi, that's how I actually started to learn how to do freelancing. Sabi ko, kasi binigay niya yung job sa akin, I learned how to develop websites by myself, without any formal education. Then, I learned how to develop websites. When I delivered my first website, kumita ako, sabi ko, yung kinikita ko ng 4 months, kinita ko lang ng 1 linggo. Sabi ko, pwede. So why not? Sabi ko, I can still get to keep my job and at the same time do freelancing on the side outside of my work hours. So that's what I did. I've been developing websites since year 2000, 2001. And then came a point na I've been getting projects. I realized I only have 24 hours in a day ng pala. So I needed to work with people so I can get to accommodate more projects, right? So that's what I did. I started not really hiring people, but working with other contractors, either outsourcing projects to them, or hiring freelancers on a per project or per contract basis. Right? So that's actually how I started. And all these digital marketing skills that I know right now and I teach right now are things that I actually learned while working with companies who are in the internet marketing industry. And at the same time, when I build websites for them, the next thing that they need is traffic. Alright? So sabi nila, Ben, can you do this for us? Can you do SEO for us? Can you do search and social media for us? Sabi ko, I don't know how to do that, but I learned. So, to cut the long story short, I did effort in learning it by myself. I enrolled in courses. I seek mentorship from world industry leaders and got to a level that I can deliver services with my own team. All right. So that's the short story how I actually started as a freelancer. Question is right now, am I already an entrepreneur? All right. Siguro let's differentiate what's the difference between a freelancer and an entrepreneur. Can I see a raise of hands of those who are freelancers? Alam ko mas marami dyan. Yung working full-time in a daytime job, but moonlighting on the side. Ayaw nga. May ba kayong boss nyo katabi nyo, no? Okay. I'm sure half of the room, at least worked on a freelance gig in the past 2-3 years. Okay. Let me differentiate. A freelancer is somebody like me when I started who gets paid by the hour or gets paid by the project. All right. I may say that I work with a team, but not necessarily own a business as an entrepreneur. The big difference siguro, a freelancer kind of does everything by himself. Even if, let's say, he hires people who does certain things of the project, you're still the one accountable. Meaning, if you remove yourself from the equation, babagsak ang negosyo. Alright? As compared to an entrepreneur runs it as a business. When I say a business, there are business processes in place. Meron registradong kumpanya. Alright? There's a business system in place, meaning they have people working with him full-time, might already have an office, and can the business can exist and operate and earn by itself even with or without that founder or that entrepreneur. I guess that's a big difference. So siguro that's a question mark right now for every one of us who are freelancing or who consider ourselves as entrepreneurs already. Are we already entrepreneurs, or are we still on that level as freelancers? All right, so now let me walk you through the things that I actually did and my tips, my recommendations to you. How can we exactly migrate from being a freelancer to becoming an entrepreneur? First and foremost, operate as a business. When I say operate as a business, as a legal, registered business. Talaga? Maraming napabugto eh. Kasi I've been receiving a lot of questions. Sabi nila, kailan ba dapat mag-register as a company? It's really up to you, okay? I can't force you to register right now. But if I'll be given the chance to go back and start it all over again. Remember, I started freelancing 2001. I only registered my company 2012. Kung babalik ako, kailan ako mag-register ng kumpanya ko? 2001. Kasi 2000 pa. This is my opinion. Being a freelancer only kind of limits your opportunities. It's hard for us to work with bigger companies. It's hard for us to work on bigger projects because the business system is us. Like what I said, take us out of the equation, this business will fall. So, when we operate as a business, yes, register as a company, okay? You don't have to register a corporation. You can register as sole proprietor, di ba? If you work with bigger companies, they would require receipts. Di ba? So, how would you issue receipts if you're not registered as a company? Taxes? Yes po, magbabayad po tayo ng taxes. Okay. When I realized na mas malaking nawawala sa akin because of the opportunities that I am not able to get. Sabi ko, what's this, taxes, babalik din man sa akin yan. So, rather than coming from a mindset of scarcity, it came from a mindset of abundance. Na sige, I'll pursue this route and really consider myself as a big business. People won't treat us as a big business, as a reliable business, if we don't treat ourselves as a big and as a reliable business. So operate as a business. Number 2, set up your business processes. So together with the company registration, business processes or the business system is fundamental. Again, I'm guilty by not setting this up early on. And this is something that I've only started like late last year. It was only then that I hired a full-time project manager, that I did proper accounting, that I started paying for an accountant. Na I started to let go of these tasks na parang ini-embrace ko na ako lang dapat gagawa nito. Alright? So when it comes to business processes, yes, we need to come up with a process, a documented process for HR, for accounting, especially for project management, for client engagement. It could be a basic list of what to do and what not to do. We can start with that. Pero what's important, there's something documented and something that we can follow. Para even without us, somebody else can implement it. Alright, so set up business process. Next, hire your assets. I call them assets because I don't want to call them as, laborers or employees. The way we need to build our team is to look for people who can be assets to the company. When looking for people now, I've learned my lesson talaga in hiring people, and I'm sure the entrepreneurs in this room would attest that one of the most difficult things in running a business is hiring people, alright? And keeping people, okay? So, here's my tip, and this is what I actually learned that I started implementing. So, when you hire people who can be really assets, who can actually increase the average value and average efficiency of your organization. Don't hire people just for the sake of, let's say, this person can do the job. No, it must be more than that. Difficult, yes. But it actually would pay, would generate more results for us. It would be long-term for us if we do and follow that route. So, hire assets, hire for value. Next thing that I did in setting up my business, in becoming an entrepreneur, is to establish my presence. It was really drastic for me kasi I was doing business for quite some time but nobody knows me. What I did, I really went an extra mile, published my website. Yes, ilang years po, wala akong sariling website. It was only that at the time na yung kliyente ko, sabi niya, Ben, can I have a link to your website? Okay, wala akong mapakita sa kanila. So it was out of embarrassment that I created my website. Anyway, so when I say establish your presence, be out there. Alright? Be out there and be visible. Be consistent. And not just being consistent na, let's say, you publish a website, create a social media profile, be on Facebook, be on Twitter, but be consistent in providing value and connecting with your target audience. So that's what I did to the point that I extended it to being present in activities like these. So offline networking. So that's my next step. Establish your presence. Next, network like crazy. Not only my presence but also my business grew in terms of revenue when I started doing this. Introvert ko ako, maski hindi halata. Okay? Yes, introvert ako. I'd rather sit sa sulok and be with close friends. It was really a step outside of my comfort zone to network with people. Okay? Here's one secret. In taking advantage of networking, get the agenda out of the way. Kasi if we network because of business, because of just getting opportunities, people see through us. Just be sincere, alright? Very much similar to the way we network in social media. Okay, this is offline and online networking. Be friends, di ba? Be friends with people. Be the first one to extend the hand and help people. Provide value first, and it automatically reciprocates. Network like crazy. Next, actually this is the last step. Be a student and a teacher. I congratulate Glenn for a very overwhelming attendance. Okay, this only shows that that this community is really it's really hungry for for learning, not just for networking but for learning, and that's something good. We need to sustain that. So for you guys, please always seek out opportunities to learn both online and offline. And for those people who are, kumbaga, in a way, advanced in terms of the industry, let's also help out yung mga newbies. It's good that we have this effort and we don't see each other as competitors. We selflessly contribute and teach what we learn. And in that way, overall, we're adding up to the economy of the Philippines if we create successful entrepreneurs in this room. And to the next generation we will be attracting in this community. Alright, so just to summarize, my tips in journeying from becoming a freelancer to becoming an entrepreneur: operate as a business, set up your business processes, hire your assets, establish your presence, network like crazy, be a student and a teacher. So to end, let me just share this short quote from Seth Godin. Kung hindi po natin kilala si Seth Godin, we're marketers. I-google nyo na lang. Okay. From Seth Godin, if you're an entrepreneur, don't hire yourself. Build a business that works, that thrives with or without you. It might not be good for your ego, but it will be good for your bank account. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. It's not bad to become a freelancer for the rest of your life. Okay lang yun. Kasi like what I said, freelancing is not for everyone, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. But my tip for those people who just want to remain as freelancers, don't get envious of the freelancers, of the entrepreneurs, okay? To the point na you start operating as a group of freelancers. Kasi it won't be sustainable. It would do you more harm than good. Because I personally have experienced that. Parang be contented with the 24 hours that you have. Okay, if you want to earn more, focus on improving the quality of your service. And improving the quality of your service, you can then provide or let's say require premium compensation. That's the only way for you to really scale as a freelancer. But for those entrepreneurs, let's treat this business as a business and not as a freelance kumbaga group. All right. Again, that's a quote from Seth Godin. If you're an entrepreneur, don't hire yourself. Build a business that works, that thrives with or without you. It might not be good for your ego, but it will be good for your bank account. So, thank you very much. I hope I was able to inspire you in becoming entrepreneurs. Thank you very much.